good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of What's Going On. I'm your host, Pastor Akin Bandele, and I have with me tonight my beautiful, intelligent twin sister from the big H town.
Hello,
Yolanda Ford. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing amazing.
Well,
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful,
Awesome.
wonderful. We are going to have a great time tonight. I want you to gather your families, your friends, your co-workers, your exes, and your haters. Gather them tonight to learn about what we can do to prevent diseases. You know, for the past 4 weeks, we have been talking about being sick and tired of being sick and tired. And we have dealt with how to know what is going on in your body by going to the doctors and recognizing that you have some fire that's raging in your body. And don't turn the alarm off permanently. Make sure you get to the root of the problem. The first week we talked about the major causes of diseases. We spell it SODA, S-O-D-A. S for stress, O for what? Does anybody remember that? You don't? S is for stress, soda, S-O-D-A. S is for soda. What is O? Oxidation. That's when you rust from inside out, oxidation. And then what about the D? Do you remember? Dehydration, when you don't drink enough water during the day. And the last letter is A. Does anybody know what that is? Auto intoxication. This is when you poison yourself by eating and not eliminating properly. And then for the other weeks, we talked about high blood pressure, what causes high blood pressure, and how you can get rid of it, and also work with your doctors to help you get off of the medication. You take high blood pressure medication just to find out what is causing the problem. It brings the blood pressure down until you can find out the root cause of your issue. Once you find out, go back to your doctor so that they can also take you off of that medication. Mm-hmm. And then we talked about, besides high blood pressure, we talked about people that are diabetic, where your blood sugar goes up, whether maybe your insulin is not, your pancreas is not producing enough insulin, or you are eating too much starch and processed sugar that's causing your blood to be flooded with sugar to where, literally you can be a type 1 or a type 2 diabetic. And we went through things that you can do naturally to bring that blood sugar down. I actually have a brother, believe it or not. He's been diabetic for several years. Oh, wow. And his sugar level dropped so low last week. He's been praying, he's been fasting, he's been doing everything we talked about. And the sugar level went down so much that he started to feel dizzy because he was still trying to take his medication. So he went back to the doctor and they reduced his medication. Well, Sister Yolanda, welcome tonight.
Oh, it's good to be here, Pastor.
Do you know on last week while we were talking, there was a guy from Nigeria, Pastor Oriola. He kept saying, are you not going to talk about cholesterol? Are you not going to talk about cholesterol? Are you not going to talk about cholesterol? I said, just wait. We're going to talk about cholesterol. So tonight, we are dealing with cholesterol. Sister Yolanda, talk to me. I know you mentioned to me that you went to the doctor and that they told you some things were going on in your body, high blood pressure and cholesterol. Talk to our viewers tonight how the process went.
Yeah, so actually it started with warning signs. I feel like I'm a pretty healthy person. About 5'6", weigh about 140 pounds, pretty healthy. But my body started showing signs, and I didn't quite understand why. My heart would palpitate, just rapidly beating, and I couldn't figure out why. It's like I was racing, but I was sitting still. So when I went to the first doctor, he basically told me, oh, your blood pressure is high. Now, on a normal cases, I run about 110 to 170.
That's great.
It is great, but my problem is that when I went to the doctor, it was elevated. So he gave me these blood pressure pills that I took for maybe about 2 days just to calm my heart
Is it
down.
just one medication or two?
It was one.
Just one.
It was
to
one
bring
medication.
the blood pressure down.
Bring the blood pressure
Okay,
down,
okay.
right? So after that, I pushed it to the side. I'm not taking it anymore. He gave me a prescription. I never got it fulfilled. He gave me a little.
Okay, hold up.
Okay.
So now the doctor gave you a prescription.
Mm-hmm.
That's my sister, y'all. She didn't fill it. Please, viewers, if you get a prescription, please fill the prescription and keep it at home. So don't listen to that. So, she got a prescription, she didn't fill it. If you get a prescription from the doctor, please go fill it, have it at home, and try to take it. Even if you're not going to take it anymore, try to take it to bring the situation down. Okay, tell us what happened then.
Well, I went ahead. You know how they give you the little tests, the little test things, the little samples?
Yes,
So
yes.
I took 2 of the samples.
Okay.
And when everything went back to normal, I went back to normal.
How long did it take for the blood pressure to come back to normal?
I took it only about 2 days of the blood pressure pills.
So after 2 days, your blood pressure came back to normal?
I wouldn't know because I didn't check. Now, keep in mind, I'm still ignoring the warning signs, okay? I'm ignoring them. I'm going back to normal, still eating what I eat, still doing what I do.
Okay.
So the second warning that God allowed me to go through, this particular warning here got my attention because this time I'm riding the bike, and as I'm riding the bike, my heart got so overwhelmed,
Wow.
I had to just stop.
Wow.
So when I went to the doctor this time, I went to a different doctor.
Okay.
And when I went to a different doctor this time, and I began to tell him kind of what was happening, and he told me, I said, well, my blood pressure is constantly elevating. It keeps going up, and it got up to about 149 over, I don't know what that bottom, the 100 or something like that.
That's the diastolic number, yeah.
Okay, so it was constantly elevating. So instead of him treating me like the first doctor with blood pressure, he said, we want to do some blood work and check your cholesterol.
Because of your blood pressure being elevated. Now, we talked about blood pressure last week, family. The systolic number is that top number, and the diastolic number is the bottom number. The average person should have 120 over 80. 120 over 80. Now, as you age, it could go up a little bit, but not that much. So you want to keep your blood pressure at the range systolics 120, diastolics 80. Now, if you go to 123, 124, it's not, you shouldn't be worried about it. If the bottom number goes to 84, 85, don't worry about it. But if it goes past 140, like hers did, and the bottom number is getting up to 90, you are pre-hypertension. You need to check it. So now this doctor, thank God that you tried another doctor. So he said, let's do blood work and see what's really going on.
Right.
Which is the way it needs to be. Family, I know the doctors, they try their best, and we are so quick to take medication, but it's good to ask questions. So I'm glad this second doctor actually went through some tests. So what happened?
Well, the second doctor, now keep in mind, the first doctor, no blood work. He just said, here's some pills, take the pills.
Okay.
Second doctor did the blood work, and when it came back, it showed my cholesterol to be like 212. It was high.
Okay.
So with it being high, he said, okay, this is what I want you to do, and he gave me some cholesterol pills.
Cholesterol. Now, many of you may not know, cholesterol, you also have 2 numbers. You have HDL and LDL. LDL is the bad cholesterol, the low density lipoprotein, that's LDL. LDL is the bad cholesterol. Now, cholesterol problem can actually cause you a stroke. It can cause you to have a heart attack. It can cause a lot of other problems in your body. So what did they tell you? So they gave you medication for cholesterol. Did they tell you what caused your cholesterol level to go up?
They explained to me that the plaque that is in my arteries were being clogged.
Okay.
And with it being clogged, exactly what you say, it will lead to a more serious
heart disease and all that. Now, with cholesterol, for many people that don't know, our liver, Sister Yolanda, actually produces cholesterol. God is so wonderful. The Bible says we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Sister Yo, if you have injury on the inside, the liver will immediately produce cholesterol to go heal the vessels so that you don't bleed to death. Majority of the time, we eat sodium in our food. The sodium causes injury in the arteries. So your arteries, you begin to bleed from the inside.
Wow.
So that you don't bleed to death, your liver produces cholesterol to go heal the wound. It keeps healing it. You keep eating sodium. It heals it. That builds up into a scar to where now the arteries will become narrow. And LDL especially will begin to clump up together. And they will line the arteries to where the blood doesn't flow too well anymore. It can cause a stroke. I mean, you can have heart attacks and all kind of stuff. So tell us, do you know the name of the medication they gave you?
I do, but I can't.
You can't remember? Yeah, most of the time they give you medication that you can't even pronounce the name.
It was the generic name for Lipitor.
Lipitor, okay. Lipitor, okay. Crestor is another one that they give. Lipitor is one. There's another one called Crestor. Now, both pharmaceuticals actually have side effects. And Sister Yo, it's amazing. We are twin sisters. I actually had cholesterol problem about 5 years ago, where my cholesterol was 311. And the doctor told me if I waited one more month, I could have had a stroke while I was asleep.
Wow.
So she gave me Crestor. And I was going to take Crestor until I began to read all the side effects. That it may damage my kidney, it may damage my liver, my eyeball may go to the back of my head, I may jump off a building because of depression. And I prayed about it, and I decided, you know what? Before taking Crestor, let me see what I can do.
Yeah.
So I researched a lot of things. So for 90 days, I did not take in anything with cholesterol. None. Zero cholesterol in all the food that I ate. And I walked 3 to 4 miles a day. I stopped eating shrimps. No oysters, no shrimps, no crawfish. My wife is from Louisiana, y'all. She cooks all that stuff. And I didn't eat none of that stuff. No red meat. I stopped drinking animal milk, no cow milk. I drank almond milk or coconut milk. And then I ate oatmeal every morning for 90 days. And I ate some nuts.
Walnuts.
Okay, walnuts. And no eggs, no cake, none of that stuff. 90 days I went back to my doctor, and my cholesterol that was 311, 312 went down to 170.
There you go.
And the doctor said, Mr. Bandele, I told you that Crestor works and you worry about the side effects. So I gave her all the Crestor back. I said, I didn't take a single Crestor. This is what I did. And she just kind of smiled. She said, Mr. Bandele, you know, if all our patients would do what you did, we won't put them on medication. She said, but 90% will not do anything. They would rather make medication their food than make food their medication.
Absolutely.
So, and that's how I got rid of my cholesterol. Now, so tell us about the pills that you were taking. How long did you take it?
About a week.
Just 1 week?
Right. Now, let me back it up.
Okay.
You actually were a testimony for me.
Okay.
Now, Pastor, keep in mind, you had your situation before I had mine.
Yes.
But the testimony that you actually shared ministered to me.
Amen.
So
Amen,
when you
amen.
begin to talk about what you went through, the journey
Yeah.
you went through with cholesterol,
Yeah.
he testified in front of the church. He would tell everybody about the journey that he had. So now that it's knocking at my door, I begin to listen. And I begin to say, okay, I've got this cholesterol, and I begin to read. I begin to read. I begin to look and see what is it that I can do myself. Because now keep in mind, for the most part, I'm pretty healthy. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I am not finna get myself caught up in something if I can control
And
it.
pharmaceutical, okay.
Right.
Okay.
So if I can control it, then that's a good thing. So what I did basically, Pastor talked about oatmeal. Well, guess what I started eating?
Oatmeal.
Oatmeal. I
All
still
right.
eating oatmeal.
I still do too.
I sit up and I go out. I try to get my steps in. I either go to the gym, I go walking, I watch what I eat. Ain't no fried food going on. Ain't that
No
stuff.
fried chicken? No Popeyes? Oh, Lord.
No.
All right.
Because I understand if you want something to change, you've got to be that change factor.
Ooh,
so I
yes,
wanted my
yes.
health to change because I know if I don't change it, it will change me.
Okay.
So I basically took your testimony and began to take the wisdom that you were given and I applied it. So I began to walk that walk. I began to buy oatmeal. Sister Betty, I was at the store one day with Sister Betty and she told me what kind of oatmeal you brought. That's the kind of oatmeal I eat now. Because the other oatmeal wasn't working for me. I couldn't digest it. It was too thick. It was too lumpy. But I started doing what you do. Putting it on the stove. Let's get it going.
Let it
and
cook
let's
down.
eat. So
put some
when
cinnamon in it. Yeah, some
Abs-
walnuts and some. So you can cut some strawberries in it and some bananas and all that.
Absolutely.
It is good.
So when I went back to the doctor, now keep in mind, he gave me the pills.
Okay.
I made sure that I took them just to regulate. I wanted to regulate
How
it.
long though? Because they said
About
30
a week.
days.
No, I didn't take
A week
them
is
30 days.
short.
A week is short, but now keep in mind, I don't went to drastic measures.
Okay.
I'm drinking water, I'm moving around, I'm
Okay.
doing some things, and I said, okay, let me do this, and I went back to the doctor.
Okay.
And I went back to the doctor, and I told him, take my blood again. Well, when he took my blood again, it was back, and so he's patting himself on the back because he said, oh, that's some good medicine. He said, but now I got to keep checking your blood because your kidneys, it's going to mess with your kidneys. Now, he's telling me the medicine he's giving me is going to mess with my kidneys. So each time I go, they want to draw blood to check my kidneys. And he's thinking I'm taking the medicine, but I wasn't taking the medicine, y'all. I really wasn't. So, but because it went back to normal, I said, okay, I need to keep doing what I'm doing. So when I went back again, he said, and I told him, I said, well, I'm not taking the medication. He said, come on back in. Let me check your blood again. Well, he took it again, and it was still good. So I told him, I said, okay, I'm okay with you checking my medicine just to make sure I don't get off track. I'm sorry, taking my blood.
Checking your blood, yeah.
Just to make sure I'm on track. I said, I'm good with that. I said, but I control what goes on in this body.
Oh, amen.
So if I don't control it, then what I eat will control it. So
Wow. Now, Sister Yolanda, and I know family, I know many of us, we are so sick and tired of just being sick and tired. We are taking the medication and we know it's tearing up all the organs in our bodies. But I have to tell you that if the doctor puts your medication, please do not take yourself off. The same doctors that put you on the medication, go back to them, do your test, let them be the ones to take you off. Don't self-medicate because you can actually kill yourself.
Yes, you can.
Many of us, we don't have control. We can't control our habits. A lot of us, we just eat and we eat and we eat. It's almost like we are killing ourselves with food.
We are.
If you are not able to control your eating habits yet, stay on the medication until you can work yourself to a place where now, okay, I'm able to cut down on this, I cut down on fried food, I cut down on caffeine, I'm exercising. Change your lifestyles while you are taking the medication and then go back to the doctor for them to check you.
Right.
And that will help you because if you do that, you are working with your physician to get you to a place where you need to be, which is your healthy place.
Yeah.
Now, after you've been back to the doctor and the cholesterol level is good now, are you still taking the medication? No.
I'm not, but let me say this, Pastor. Most people don't want to change. I've heard people say, well, I'm going to eat this. That's what the medicine is for. The medicine's supposed to help with my issue. The medicine's supposed to help regulate this, but they don't want to change. They've got to have a mindset to change. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I can continue to take the cholesterol medicine and continue to eat the fried chicken, but what good am I doing?
It will keep the cholesterol down, but it will mess up your kidney.
It'll mess my kidney.
Sister Jean Giddens, God bless you. Thank you for joining us tonight. DJ Hopes, thank you for joining us. Genevieve, thank you for joining us. You all share the video. Comment. I want you to comment. I want you to like the video. If you are joining us for the first time, or maybe you are watching this after we have gone off air, you can still continue to comment and let us know what we can do to help you. Tonight we are dealing with cholesterol, and I have my guest with me, Sister Yolanda Ford, that has gone through the process. Something I always say is, you cannot help me with a problem if you have not experienced what I'm going through. Right. I went through cholesterol, I'm able to help somebody else. Because I went through high blood pressure, I'm able to help somebody else. Because I can tell you where the snakes are, where the scorpions are, and I can tell you who they are too. And what medication you need to kind of stay away from, what food you need to stay away from. Right. So this is why I have her online with us tonight to talk to us, not just a book theory, but somebody that was diagnosed with high blood pressure, somebody that was diagnosed with high cholesterol, and has been able to manage it to a point to where now she's no longer under using pharmaceutical. If you have any comments tonight, or you have a question for my guest, type your question and I will read the question out to our viewers so that we can answer those questions. I have one more question for you, Sister Yolanda. Sure. Now that I feel good, I feel healthy, what about exercises? Should I continue to still exercise? Now, my blood pressure is normal, my cholesterol is normal. Is it okay for me to go back to eating a lot of shrimps and crawfish and fried food? Well, the cholesterol is good now.
I know. And but that's the deceptive part. It's good, and because you see it's good, and you think it's good, you think you can return back to normal. But we have to have a different mindset, a different mindset that we want to change. I want to be healthy. And because I want to be healthy, I'm going to do whatever it takes to be healthy. I don't want to end up with on the medication. I'm not saying that I won't one day, but my mindset is I don't want to be. So because I don't want to be, I'm going to read, I research, I'm going to look. Yes. If it says be active, I'm going to be active. If it says don't eat, I'm not going to eat. If it says drink water, I'm drinking water. I'm going to do whatever it takes because my mindset is I don't want to be on the medication.
Everybody wants to stay healthy, but not everybody wants to do what it takes to stay healthy.
You better say that.
Let me talk. There may be somebody out there watching us right now and say, you know what? It's not my will to be this way. It's not my will to be fighting this blood pressure problem, this high cholesterol problem, this cancer situation. And I'm not going to deal with cancer tonight. God willing, next week we're going to deal with cancer. What causes different cancers, how you can try to avoid, being affected by cancer. We're just going to try as much as possible to give you information so that you learn how to prevent the disease. Prevention is better than cure. Now, let's talk about, since we are dealing with cholesterol tonight, what other things are you doing to make sure your cholesterol level does not go back up?
Okay. Every morning, and I do mean, I would say 5 days out of a week, it's oatmeal.
All right.
And let me just say this, oatmeal doesn't look good.
And
it don't taste too good either, but I don't eat it for the taste. I don't eat it because of the way it looks. I eat it because I know it's good for me.
So food is my medication
right.
now.
Food is now my medication. There you go. I don't put butter on it. I don't put milk on it. And I don't put sugar on it. Kind of like I use nuts. I put bananas. I put blueberries. I'll put apples. I'll sweeten it up that way. But I don't eat it for what it looks like. Nobody goes to a restaurant to order oatmeal. No. Because of the way it looks.
We want the coconut shrimp.
I want the bacon. I want the pancakes. I want the eggs. I want the hash browns. I want the toast. But nobody goes there deliberately to order oatmeal. But I make it a point to have me a solid bowl of oatmeal every morning. Like I say, at least 5 days. Every 2, I might go a couple of days where I won't eat anything or might do something different. But at least 5 days, I'm going to have that oatmeal. I buy a big, what is it, the big thing like this?
A big jar of it.
I eat a big, I eat one of those, one of the boxes, I eat that per week. So I go through a box.
That's a lot of oatmeal.
I go through a box
wow,
in
wow,
1 week.
wow,
So I'm
wow.
constantly buying. I buy them in bulks because
Okay.
I go through one a week.
So you're using the one that you actually cook, not the sweet,
Yes.
not the one packet. Okay.
no.
Now that's number one. Start oatmeal. We're gonna give you some things you can do. Maybe I may give you about 10 different things or 8 different things that you can do. Oatmeal is number one. Start your day with a bowl of oatmeal or cold oat-based cereal like Cheerios. Look for oat cereals with 1 to 2 grams of soluble fiber per serving. You want 1 to 2 grams of soluble fiber. You can, like she said, I add slices of bananas in mine. I put some blueberries in mine, and they are all heart healthy fiber. Now, what happens with those soluble fibers? They pass into your colon, where the bacteria break them down to form short chain fatty acids that help to block the formation of LDL, which is a low density lipoprotein. So by you eating those soluble fibers, it helps to reduce the bad cholesterol. Okay. The second thing, Sister Jean, thank you very much. Sister Roberts, welcome to our program tonight. Oatmeal is not that bad. That's Miss Roberts said oatmeal is not that bad, but don't pack it up with sugar. Don't do that. Get the real oatmeal that you can cook on the stove, not the one in the packets with all that sugar in it. No.
Right.
Get the oatmeal, cook it down, and you can add almond milk if you want. You can, like I said, once it cools down, you can cut bananas in it, some walnuts, some strawberries or some blueberries. Put it all, raisins sometimes. Put it all in it, and you have a good oatmeal. The second thing that I'm going to recommend for people fighting high cholesterol is beans. Did you know that?
Pinto beans.
The beans are rich in soluble fiber, and they take a long time to digest, so you feel fuller longer. Now, they are excellent choice also if you want to lose weight, to eat beans. There are many choices. You've got the garbanzo beans, lentils, black-eyed peas, and you say, which one? Pinto beans. Pinto beans. So eat some beans, okay? Eat some beans, it will lower your cholesterol level. When my doctor thought my blood sugar was going up, they put a device in my stomach for 1 week.
Oh, wow.
And I messed them up. I messed them so bad because, number one, I didn't want the device to be put on my skin. And they put it on my skin, they put a tape on it. They told me if I took it off or I lost it, I would pay $1,800. They didn't want me to take it off and sell it. That's what that was about. Because they knew I was reluctant. My doctor knew I was reluctant putting that device in my stomach. Well, I let her put it on to check my blood sugar. So for 1 week, I told Lady Betty, I'm going to show them that I have control over what I eat.
Okay.
For the whole week, I had no starch. I had beans as if beans was going out of style. I didn't even eat oatmeal to make sure I have no starch. I ate beans. I cooked some vegetables, African vegetables with no fufu. I ate fish by itself for dinner all week long. Out of the 1 week, I had smoothie one night on Wednesday at about 9 o'clock. I went back to the doctor, and they took the device out, and they told me to come back about 4 days later. I went back 4 days later, and the woman looked at my chart and said, Mr. Bandele, you came here last month, your blood sugar was spiking. Now your blood sugar is so low, it's riding below the normal range. What is going on? Oh, but I saw a spike here at 11:30 on Wednesday. I said, yeah, I had a smoothie. So now I know that you can actually control what's going on in your body. So eat some beans. Another thing you can do, eat nuts. Studies have shown, I have some nuts over there. You see, I've got nuts all over my house.
Yes, you do.
Can you all see it? This one right here, this is a roasted pumpkin seed. It is good for granular tissues. It's good for prostate.
That's good.
It also lowers your cholesterol. So I eat a lot of these. Just a handful of nuts. Almonds is good. Walnut is good.
Walnuts.
So you eat some nuts and it will help you. Sister, I believe I have a comment here. Jean Giddens. She says fish oil helps with cholesterol a great deal. That is actually correct. That's my number 5 on my list. So that's very good, woman of God. That's number 5 on my list for you to eat fatty fish. Eating at least 2 servings of salmon, trout, or the cold water fish, they have many heart healthy benefits. So thank you very much for that, Sister Jean Giddens, for those comments. Also, you can eat foods that are fortified with sterols. Sterols and stanols. They are plant extracts, and they will help to prevent the body from absorbing the bad cholesterol from your food. So you can do all that. Let me see. I've got another comment here. Miss Robert, what about cooking it with water? I cook my oatmeal with water. What do you cook your oatmeal with?
Water.
Water. I cook my oatmeal with water also.
Water, yeah.
You cook it with water, and when you're almost finished, you can put some cinnamon in it, and then you can add almond milk, a little bit in it if you want, and add walnut and blueberry, strawberry, and some bananas. That will help you. So we thank you, Sister Jean, for that. So fatty fish is good. Now, there's another thing that is good. Garlic.
Oh, okay.
Garlic is wonderful for cholesterol, just like for high blood pressure. Somebody here said, what about black beans? DJ Hopes, what about black beans?
Black beans is good too.
So black beans is good also. You must like black beans. He is very good also. Now, Key to the B said, I cook mine with almond milk. Let me say this, don't cook with the milk. It's better to cook your real oatmeal with water first so that it softens up, and then you can add almond milk so that you don't cook out the almond. You don't want to cook out all the nutrients out of the milk. So you want to just kind of cook your oatmeal to almost done, and then add almond milk and just stir it up to warm up the milk, and then you can put your stuff in it. That's very good. If you have any comments, any questions, please feel free to ask us. If you are just joining us tonight, you are watching what's going on. We are dealing with what's going on with your health and my health. And I have my twin sister here with me, Sister Yolanda Ford, talking from experience on how to control your cholesterol and also control your high blood pressure.
Absolutely.
If you have any comments, any questions, feel free to ask us and we will answer. Sister Yolanda.
Sure.
In a few more minutes, we have about 5 more minutes left tonight because I'm not going to deal with the cancer tonight. God willing, next week, we will talk about cancer. But tonight, I want to just focus on high cholesterol. In the 5 minutes or so that we have left, what advice? Just look into that camera and give our sweet, sweet family. I thank you for allowing us to come in your home tonight. I really thank you for allowing us to come into your home every week. You are our family. I love you like I always tell you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And Jesus loves you more. So tonight, Sister Yolanda, look into that camera and tell our family members. Just speak from your heart what God lays on your heart for somebody that may be dealing with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and they are weary, they are tired, they are taking medication. The doctors have changed their medication from 1 pill to 2 to 3 high blood pressure medication. Talk to them tonight.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, I would say pay attention to your body. Learn your body. You can't ignore the signs that might be coming, and you might just think it's just something and you push it to the side and you think it's going to go away. It's not going to go away. But having a made-up mind that you want to do something different. And I know that we all are on different levels, and Pastor talks a lot about moving, a lot about exercise, and everybody's at different levels. You might not be able to do what the next person can do, but do something. If it's just walking 5 minutes, if it's just doing something, being active for 10 minutes, putting that body in motion is what helps that body to be able to fight off whatever it is that you're actually going through. And if you really want to do something different, you got to make a change, because it starts with what am I taking in? What am I digesting? Because if I continue to eat fried chicken, which I could, but I choose not to. I can go to Popeyes just like the next person and buy chicken if I choose to. But you have to have a made-up mind to do something different. Because if you don't, the doctors, to be honest with you, I'm going to say that they are in the business that they're in, and they will give you what they need to give you based upon what the situation might be.
To keep you alive for a while.
Right, but eventually it will trickle down and begin to impact something else.
Side effects, yeah.
Side effects, right. And I don't know of one medication, Pastor, that you can take that doesn't have a side effect.
I don't know of any.
I don't know.
I know of one.
You know of one?
I know something you can take with no side effects.
What is it?
Drink some alkaline water.
Okay.
No side effects with that. And eat vegetables, no side effects. Also, if you like to take herbs like I do, every day I drink, I mix something. It's called it's seaweed, really, and it's in powder form, and I mix with water. Wow. I started drinking something that's called neem, Neem, but it is so bitter. But I started drinking it because the doctor, the holistic doctor that I talked to, he said when he had COVID-19. He drank neem 4 times a day, and COVID-19 was gone within 2 or 3 days.
Right.
He also said if you use neem, that it will lower your blood pressure, it can lower your cholesterol, it can lower your blood sugar. So I bought it. I bought a pound of it. And you take a 1/4 spoon in water, it's green looking, but I'm going to warn you, it is the most bitter thing I've ever tasted in my entire 64 years of life. And I tried to sweeten it up by putting honey. It made it more bitter. And then I decided I was going to get smart. I put ginger tea with it, and I put a little bit of cayenne pepper. Next day, I was running to the restroom.
Oh, boy.
So I said, no more. So I just take the neem, and it works. I also use a lot of cinnamon. Cinnamon is good. It's good for your health. Actually, I talk about the 3 C's. If you have a blood sugar problem, if you are diabetic, cinnamon is very good to take, and also vitamin C. Vitamin C is important. I call it the 3 C's. Okay, so cinnamon is good in your diet. I have a question that comes from our YouTube viewers tonight. DJ hopes, is there a replacement for honey? I checked nutrition fact and the grams of sugar are very high. That is correct. I don't use honey as I used to anymore. Now I use agave. Agave is very sweet. And actually, I was going to go bring one. You know what? Tell them, give my viewers some advice about everything you have done. I want to show you the agave that I'm using. I'm going to get off camera while she talks. Go ahead.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, what I would like to say is, when you think about this, going to a doctor, and you're going to the doctor because you're asking the doctor to help you, and the doctor tells you, I'm going to give you something to help you, but in giving you something to help you, he said, I'm going to keep checking your blood because eventually it's going to take out your kidneys. That was a wake-up call for me. A wake-up call, so much so it's like, I've got to do something different. Nobody's going to do it for Yolanda. If anything's got to be done, Yolanda's got to do it. But for a doctor basically to tell me that he knows that my kidney is going to eventually go out by doing this, it scared me straight. There used to be a movie called Scared Straight. It scared me straight. So I do whatever I have to do to walk this road of trying to be healthy and walking this road and doing what I need to do. And Pastor, looks like Pastor's back with the...
I have to do this for you. I was going to just say, we're going to forget about it. And this is agave. It's organic blue agave. It looks like honey, but it's made out of plant. It's got 0 gram of fat, 0 milligrams of sodium, and total carbohydrates 16 grams. Just 1 teaspoon gives is about 16 grams of sugar. So this is a very good alternative to honey or sugar. This bottle right here, I've got about 10 of them in my house. It's going to last me about 2 years. I didn't want to run out of it. So I put it in my smoothies. And I actually learned this from Dr. Sebi.
Okay.
Dr. Sebi said to use agave for your sweetening. It's made out of plant and it's good sugar. You don't want to use too much, but it's not. Even if you are diabetic, agave is a good alternative to honey. So thank you very much for that. I had to go off camera to bring it to you all. I said, I'm not going to wait till next week. If you need to find out how to get, you can actually find agave at most of the stores. You have to look for them, you know. They put all the chips and the bread and the bad stuff. You get all that on the shelf. But the healthy stuff, they hide them. So you have to look for them, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Well, our time is up tonight. I want to thank all of you for watching us, for joining us. Thank you for allowing us to come into your living room, into your bedroom, into your office, into your hospital room, maybe even your prison cell. Tonight, my prayer is that your health will spring forth as the morning.
All right.
Remember, you don't have to make medication your food.
Come on.
Make food your medicine.
There you go.
Change your diet. My oldest son, Raymond, that's one thing we talk about. Actually, I was talking to him yesterday because, and I want to give this personal testimony. My granddaughter, Raymond's daughter, my baby girl, she called me 3 times yesterday. Her name is Layla. She said, Papa, how are you doing? I said, I'm doing good. She said, Papa, you know I was sick. I said, yeah, I know you were sick. I talked to you in the hospital. So I said, what did they find out? I didn't know what she was saying. So Yolanda. She said, they found 3 lumps in my intestine. I said, 3 lumps? She actually scared me.
Oh, my.
I thought maybe they found tumor in her intestine.
Yeah.
She said, no, they found some lumps in my stomach, and one of them came out already. So as we began to talk, I figured out she had fecal matter, poo, that's hardened in her GI tract, in her intestine.
Wow.
And that was causing her a lot of problems to where she ended up in the hospital. So I got my son on the phone. I said, Raymond, you need to watch what my girl is eating, or I'm going to come for you.
Yeah.
And Raymond said, Dad, that ain't me. Talk to her mama.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You know that boy crazy.
Yeah.
She said, Dad, that ain't me. You talk to her mama.
Yeah.
I said, Layla, listen to Papa. You cannot eat those fried food for the next 30 to 90 days.
Yeah.
You need to eat some soluble fibers. Don't drink animal milk.
Right.
No burger with cheese. And you know she's
and that's the good stuff too.
Yeah, some good stuff. And you know she's a very healthy girl though.
Yeah.
You know she's actually, and I hate to say this, she's smarter than my older grandchildren. Because the girl, she's just smart like that.
Smart, yeah.
She's never had any
issues.
No, she didn't have the vaccine.
Okay.
She didn't take what they give those children when they are young. Vaccination. I mean, what is it?
Yeah, that's it.
All the vaccines that you get, she didn't have none of that.
Yeah.
And she's very smart. I'm talking about almost smarter than her
me?
daddy.
Oh, than her daddy? Okay.
Almost smarter than
I
daddy.
was going to say me.
No, she's not so smart. But she's smarter than my ninja, Raymond, her dad. But the girl is just smart. But when I told her, she said, well, Papa, okay. But I still got 2 poop in there to come out.
Wow.
So, and she's a young girl dealing with intestinal issues because of food.
Yeah.
So I said, Raymond, you tell your wife, you'll take care of my girl.
Yeah.
Change your diet in that house.
Right. Change the diet.
Cut down on all them shrimps and all those fried food and the pancakes and all that.
Yeah.
to get healed.
Yeah.
So family, we got to take care of our health.
Got to.
We got to take care of our families, our children.
Got to.
Let's stop killing ourselves with all this government cheese.
Yeah, and it's never too late. It's
No,
never too late. Today, let it start today.
Today.
It can start to, and I like what you said about the food being the medicine, not the medicine being the food. Let your food be your medicine. Start today. Now, I love pizza. I love me some cheese. I love me some bacon. Baby, please get me a hamburger with some bacon, some cheese.
Oh,
and
no.
Put some jalapenos on it. But I don't eat it.
Because
but
they
I
are,
love it.
Sister, they are artery cloggers.
They are. But my food is going to be my medicine from now on.
Praise the Lord.
Starting today.
Starting today.
Right now.
Well, family, we love you so much. We've had an awesome time with you tonight. Sister Yolanda, I thank you for joining me.
It's been a pleasure.
I'm really thankful that you can join us to give a personal
Yeah.
testimony. If you are joining us late tonight, our time is up. We thank you for allowing us to come into your living room, to come into your home. I'm Pastor Akin Bandele, and this is Yolanda Ford, right here in Houston, Texas.
Right here in Houston.
I'm the founder, senior pastor of New Covenant. If you don't have a church home and you live in Houston, you live in Sugar Land, you live in Stafford, in Katy, Missouri City,
in America,
Pearland, 25 miles radius of our church, come and fellowship with us. The address is 12401 and a half South Post Oak Road. We are the building right there at the corner of South Post Oak and Highway 90. Our service on Sunday is 11 o'clock. We have a Super Sunday. This coming Sunday is our Communion Sunday. And after that, we're going to have a Super Sunday for Mother's Day. So join us. I know if you come to service, I want you to wait till I finish preaching. I want to come down, hug your neck, take a picture with you, and get to know you. We love you. Until next week, same time, same channel. This is Pastor Akin saying, I love you, and Jesus loves you more. Good night, family.